Hello and welcome to the second episode of Keeper of the Keys. I've unlocked the door. Step and stop. Wait. I've unlocked the door. This way, right? Right. I've unlocked the door. Come on inside, come on. This week's episode, I've decided to talk about one of my favorite artists. This artist, I don't know how to explain it just by riffing. That's why I put everything in here. I write everything down and then I've translated it onto my computer because I will not say enough or say the wrong thing. This is the second episode of Keeper of the Keys. Second episode, I wanted to do an episode on Reggie Pearl. Reggie Pearl. Okay, let me calm down. I love Reggie Pearl. Love, so bad. Love this music. Okay. So, first, I begin by saying how I found them. So I first came across Reggie on Spotify. I like to hunt people down, but I was hunting down I guess some new music, I guess subconsciously, or I don't know, maybe purposely, and I came across this song called Moldavite, and I said, I'm gonna try speaking like this, but also I need to follow my trusty computer. Okay. I came across Moldavite one day on Spotify and I thought it was an incredible name for a song. Moldavite is the more extreme version of malachite. It fucks your life up. It's like a big transformation crystal. If you don't know anything about it, it's one of the crystals that people are really terrified to get because it will make you lose your friends, lose your job. It will kind of tilt your world on its axis. It will really mess up your life for the better. It's not like for anything worse, but it's a big tower moment. If you're into tarot cards, it's like a huge tower moment. So when I saw that for a song name, I was like, I'm sad. I listened to the song, I got obsessed, and then I started my detective work. And I was like going through her entire Spotify and like looking her up and everything. Okay, so I said my life changed when I was skylifted into the UFO and blasted off to Reggie World. At the time, the only EP that was released was Regicide, which again, another title pulling me into its gravitational orbit. I think that's the right terminology, but this is what the album cover looks like. Amazing. I was literally like, I'm so sad. And Get Low and Paint My Nails, I believe, are the only other singles that were out from this, like, that wasn't from Regicide, but it was being teased for this new EP or new album that was coming out. But when I first saw Regicide, I was like, oh, I'm listening to these songs on repeat, and I got so obsessed. I literally have wet mark stains from my hair. Please just go with the flow, ignore that. So during this time, all that was out was those two singles, Get Low and Paint My Nails, and then the live Kaleidoscope sound set was being released, and they were like releasing a song a week or something, I think. But I was like eating it up. I was like, oh my god, like I feel like I'm the only one here, like what's going on? I showed my friend and my sister and we all got like collectively obsessed. But anyway, so I local filed her Kaleidoscope sound set. I'm gonna probably put a picture here. The whole set was so cool. It looks really aesthetically pleasing, and just like Reggie's style, and I believe they had like some type of like glove or something on. I just thought it was so cool. I was like, oh my god, love that. Anyway, to this day I listen to those versions of her tracks. I love local filing live versions of songs as well, because if you really think about it, I'm sorry if I'm like looking at my monitor, I am reading straight from what I wrote. If you really think about it, think back to ancient times where they would simply sing songs and they would get passed around through people. Like, that's the beginning of how music started. There was no recording. There was no source of recording them. I think live versions of songs are really cool because it's different every time. A studio version is one seemingly perfect version of a song, but for some reason a live performance has more oomph in it. And this is not to say like her studio isn't shining, because her studio versions are. But yes, they're glorious. However, I am someone who really enjoys live and live music, and that's why I listen to all the slight changes from the studio and how many alterations or versions of a song, like how many different things it can become. Her voice is so addicting and unique. It's unlike anything I've heard before. I know she enjoys covering a lot of jazz and is probably inspired by jazzy artists, but for me, her voice or her artistic choices, like her little riff things, meaning she has this thing where she does like I can't do it, but it's like I can't even insert it because I'm gonna get copyrighted, but it's like she'll do little like do 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 or like like little, like it's literally like beautiful scatting almost. I don't know if that's like she's inspired by something, but I haven't heard that before, or I haven't heard that enough. So that really gets me attached and like on that ship. Like I'm sad. Their writing is remarkably witty and strikingly tragic. It's as though someone took the mess of my Mercury and Pisces brain, meaning, if you don't know what that means, people with Mercury and Pisces brains, that's why I like to write things down and almost perform it, because if I just try to explain everything that's in my head, it's not going to come out right, or I won't have the language or words to explain it. I have to sit down and physically get it out. Or it means like a lot of things make sense in my head, but I don't know how to put it into words for other people to understand. It's like a dead language almost, like something that can't be transferable to other people. I don't know how to explain it. It makes sense to me, but it doesn't make sense to other people. That being said, I feel like her music is taking everything that I can't transcribe in my brain or I haven't worked out yet and putting it into, she decoded it and made that into art. So it's relatable, it's sad, it's a story. Each song is a story. Regicide ruled my brain with the two singles that were obviously not the two singles for Regicide, but they were teasing they were going to be on Twilight Zone, but that ruled me until Twilight Zone came out. Twilight Zone was born. There was life before Twilight Zone and there was life after Twilight Zone. Me and my friend always say, it's like a terminology that we say, but we say this one Landia because the initial track of the album opens with this one, and this one is an experience. It is an experience. This one Landia, to put it into simpler terms, it is the end of the world. You're losing, helpless, hopeless. It's like fairy war. If you've ever read like Sarah J Maas books, everything goes to shit type track. It blends, transitions, and collides into the black hole that is Stormwatcher. So that's the second track. But if you think about it from like a, I guess someone who's like a musician point of view, it's almost like they probably, I wonder if they just had like a jam sesh all the way through, and that became the two songs. Like I don't know, I just imagine that in my head. I don't know if that's how it went down, but it's like, it would be really cool if that's how it went down, because they just go right into the next song, and it's like that on the Kaleidoscope Sound, and I think they perform it like that as well. But yeah, Stormwatcher, so that's the second track on the album. Her scats are a little doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, but it's just like, she'll just be like do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Like, I don't know how to explain it, you just have to hear it for yourself. But that specifically, these sounds make me and my body enter a form of psychosis. It is a hypnotism. It's so gut-wrenching. It's just like guttural sounds that are just like, I don't know how else to explain it. You have to experience it for yourself. My friend and I worked overtime to assign characters of the Sarah J. Maas universe to Reggie's tracks. So Sarah J. Maas is the author of A Court of Thorns and Roses and Thorn of Glass and Crescent City, if you don't know. But I believe that Reggie is so many things, but among those many things, she is the matriarch of Sarah J. Maas female characters, because we have just, me and my friend assigned each like song, like a Reggie song, it doesn't matter from like which album, but like to each of Sarah J. Maas's character, and it completely fits that character. And it was something that we were playing while we were reading it in real time, or rereading, and we were just like, oh my god, this is so what happened to them, like lyrical wise, or just like the feeling of it. And it just, listening to music and assigning characters really is a whole other experience that I could do a whole other video on, because I am someone who specifically, me and my friend specifically, make playlists for books that we are reading, which whether like we're listening to, where's the sound, whether we were like listening to it at the time of reading, or just it makes sense, or it's like we're reminded, it just keeps us there. It's like hella like such a like loop, past loop, just like of like nothing good. It's not, it's just like insanity, that's what it is. But anyway, okay, so when you're listening to Reggie's tracks and associating them to a character outside of this world that Reggie has created themselves, you are reminded of what happened to your favorite character, or how the lyrics fit their situation. It's a whole different experience when you can interpret someone's music and it transcends to another experience. So specifically, reading the last 100 pages, everybody says, reading the last 100 pages of a Sarah J. Maas book, or a scene where you're in a fairy war scene, it's so over. So like specifically Stormwatcher, the second track of Twilight Zone, I played that over and over when I was reading the Torture Device, the Roman Empire, the Apocalypse, cursed text that is Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas. It is the third to last book of the Thorn of Glass series. I honestly should do a video on that, because it wrecked me as a person and ruined my life. And it was one of the craziest things I've ever read. That was one of the things where I like associated one of her songs with a book or something that was going on in the book or a character. And it really hit for me. It really like, putting the two together really changed everything. I don't know. Okay, so all of the tracks on Twilight Zone are this one, Stormwatcher, Get Low, Paint My Nails. Get Low and Paint My Nails were the two singles that were out. This one and Stormwatcher. Oh my god, I remember when this one came out. This one came out as a single. I was going crazy. It really like made me, I was obsessed. Floor Dweller, Twilight Zone, and Sea Cow. I Am Floor Dweller is Me, I Am That. I love that song. I don't know why I didn't talk about that song when I was doing the analyzation, but know that I love that song. And I love that song so much that I have multiple versions of it local filed. Like I have I sound so crazy, but I love hearing other versions, and I have this specific version. I literally have it as Art Beat Live because I think it's like Reggie in their grandmother's basement like performing it, and I like the sound of just it being like not all the other instruments. So I just like different versions of it, and I'll listen to that one too. So I'm just saying, like, oh my god, it's literally so crazy. Okay, just ignore that. But yeah, that being said, like, Floor Dweller is my baby. Like, I love that song. But alas, anyway, next, within Twilight Zone, the album's title track, Twilight Zone, could be a terrible scene of a characterization of your favorite doomed character. The lyrics, and this is when I start to get into lyrics. Now it's getting serious. The lyrics: you long for silence, in your head you hear orchestras, each player playing a different song, and you reach out beside yourself. And she's like, oh, cause you cannot be, but she says, cause you cannot be trusted. No, no, no. That clicked something within me. Like, I was like, what? You, in your head you hear orchestras, each player playing a different song. Like, you know, when things just get so loud and you long for silence, you long for silence. I was just like, wow, when I read that and heard that. And the way it's performed is so like, you can just feel it in your chest and in your stomach. I don't know how else to explain it, but Reggie Pearl's latest release, Mega Pearl, that's the title of the, I believe it's an album, if not an EP, because sometimes I think Twilight Zone is like technically an EP, but it doesn't feel like an EP. I'm not sure. Anyway, album. To quote, this is from their Instagram caption: may we always be coming back to love and to lay into ourselves over and over again. That made me so happy because, at least personally for me, this year has been very transcendental. I've used to be so low. You get low, you get low. That's a reference if you need to like hop on it, but that's a reference. Yeah, Twilight Zone was my crutch. That is my album. Deep down, that is my saddest self. Like, my true pain is that album. Mega Pearl, on the other hand, is new. It's fresh. Mega Pearl is like shadow work. It's coming up from air. It's finding yourself. It's putting the sad music down and getting back to what the fuck is up. To quote Magdalene's lyrics, this is the artist that I did my first Keeper of the Keys episodes on, but to quote one of her lyrics, I want to wake up feeling like I used to. I want to wake up feeling like I used to. And I feel like that is like the journey that is Mega Pearl. While Twilight Zone closed with the siren song that is Sea Cow, which I love that song so bad. That's like on bass. I love that song. Mega Pearl opens with the cursed siren anthem, Bikini Bottoms. It's natural for the album to begin with this. Personally, I think you need to have a Bikini Bottoms type crash out before the piece. Now, before I started getting all Analyzation Barbie, Bikini Bottoms was my solace to this day. It's one of my favorite tracks. When it was released as its single, I listened to it nonstop on repeat for days. And I mean, like, it was the only thing I listened to. Like, I kept going back to it. And people say, like, I think it's like an autistic trait to like replay the same song. That's what I was doing. Like, seriously, like, on repeat all week. Like, it was like on my earbuds, embarrassingly. Anyway, it was my autism anthem. The track begins with the mind-shattering earth drum abusing loud intensity of like instruments. So it's like, and for me, I feel like that's so like all the noises of everything. It's the crash out. Like, it's like, all right, like, you're like realizing things about yourself. It's coming from Twilight Zone, and it's transitioning into Mega Pearl. She begins with the lyrics. So the lyrics she opens the album with: he laughs, I know something's up. I've been just knowing shit since I've been real young. Pause. Let me read it again. He laughs, I know something's up. I've been just knowing shit since I've been real young. You know when you just can read a room, you know when like someone does something and you're like, oh, they don't take me seriously. Oh, that's funny? Like, that's funny to you? Okay. All right, the next line. Foolish, you think I'm dumb. I grew up real quick and I know when it's time to run. I grew up real quick. Got me. I was like, oh, yeah. Okay. And then she says, if you think that's bad, try going where I've gone. You know when the meme where it's like when I switch from the female point of view to the male point of view in the book, and it's like, that's literally how I felt. Okay. Something about her band is they are purely magical. The art that they create together is so symbiotic. I don't know if so symbiotic is the correct terminology, but symbiotic. The horns and the strings and the drums always complete the picture. The bass, the electric guitar, like it's just, oh, like I don't know how to explain it, but it just blends so beautifully together, and they quite literally infuse the narrative. The lyrics, this is still in Bikini Bottoms. The lyrics, there's no structure in destruction. There's no structure in destruction. This line hit me because I remember when I was younger, I actually wrote something like this, I think in my journal, and I was interested in the fact that to create something when you're like a construction worker, you have to tear something down first. You tear it down again, like tower card style, like full on tower card, tarot card, and begin building anew. So when I heard that line, I was like, oh, right. The lawnmower is hella loud, but I'm just like gonna talk louder and see if like maybe it won't be as loud. Her hauntingly dreamy, nightmarish oohs her oohs are of a screeching siren. When the single was released, it did not have those in them, and I was still running up that track like I was getting paid for it. Reggie announced on their Instagram that they were releasing a remastered Bikini Bottoms, and at first I was like, remastered? What? When I saw that it was going to be remastered, I was really scared because, again, this was the song that I rung up. Like, it was on my earbuds. It was everywhere. I was like, repeat. And I was like, oh, I'm a little scared. Like, what's going to happen to it? Like, is it going to change in a way that I don't like? And you know what? That was my first mistake. Was doubting the matriarch, because why would I do that? But I did. Anyway, when I listened to the remaster, the oohs were added, and it completed it in a way that just felt right. I can't listen to it without it. I do, but I do prefer the oohs. I think the oohs like really set the story. They set the scene. Recently, upon Instagram, she's been teasing and testing new music, just like uploading like, ooh, just like practicing, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm like Coco crazy. I'm Coco nutty, and I'm like so overjoyed. I'm so already in love with the new material. Like, it's not even done yet. It's like hella demo, I guess. And it's literally a crumb right now, and I'm just like gathering them into my hand. Like, that's all I have to say right now. I feel like there's so much to say about this artist. I'm so obsessed with this music and this art. I always feel like I have so much more to say, and sometimes I come up short, but I hope that this really enlightens you, or you feel like drawn to this artist as much as I do, or as much as I am. But at the end of the day, I feel really drawn to this music and this sound, and I just feel really connected in like a spiritual, like some other way to it. Like, there's something about it that I'm just like, that got me. It's very similar to like when I listen to Florence, or just someone who's just like has such a powerful I'm just like very tapped in again. Like I know I said that last time, but I'm just very tapped in. It's got me under spell, but I also feel like I was always meant to find it. And I just closed it with check out Reggie Pearl and you will not be disappointed. My recommendations or my favorite songs, let's see. I don't have like a bad song. I feel like all the songs are good, but it depends on what kind of mood you're in. I feel like, let's see. I think if you are in sort of like a moody mood, maybe you're reading a fantasy book, maybe you are down in the dumps and you need something that will completely understand your experience, I think you should listen to Twilight Zone, the album. If you want a little, you know, fun, hee hee hee, ha ha, and that's not to say that like Mega Pearl is totally the opposite, because it's entirely human and it's a balance. It's not like just all happy. If you want to start with something, maybe start with Mega Pearl if you're feeling the opposite. But I will say there are some unreleased tracks, or like I guess tracks that are going to be new, that I've like found on SoundCloud, or like Reggie has like posted like a little clip of them and I've local filed them like a fucking freak. But I love Phone Boss. I listen to that like nonstop. If you go on their SoundCloud, you'll probably find it. Phone Boss, and this is like the teensy tiniest like little clip because I'm psycho. It's this new song called Harpoon. I'm obsessed with it. The lyrics drew me in, and just the beat of it like got me, and I'm really excited to see like what it's going to turn into, because even how simple it is right now, like I could take it like that, but I know like Reggie's probably going to turn it into something else and it's going to be even better. But like it's already amazing. Like it's already like listening to the demos and being like, oh, you already got it. That's how I feel. But yeah, so I would check out Reggie Pearl. Next week I'm gonna have a brand new episode for you. Who do I have on the list? I have a lot of people on my list, but I don't know exactly who I'm doing yet. But stay tuned. I will be probably filming another video soon for this channel. I think I'm gonna film like something that's not Keeper of the Keys related. That might be coming next. But stay tuned. Locking the door. Now we have to lock the door. I'm like, how do you lock the door? I can't know I should know the difference, right? I think it's that way. Locking the door, now keeping the door closed until further notice.